Cheers, Swifty. It's just a steady one to this evening. Hope everyone's okay. So I'm still trying to see if I can get onto the Rave Discord. But I'm not sure if there is a chat room active or not. Either way, I'm on here. Hope everyone is good. Owen, how we doing? Hey, right up. Nice to see you again. Yeah, New York, Park Perimeter. And I am actually racing myself on Tuesday this time round, so my hair's in the right state. So yeah, hopefully everyone can hear me okay. Hear the tunes in the background as well. Whether you are on Twitch or YouTube. Give us a shout, ask us some questions, whatever you want. Not guarantee I'm going to be able to answer them all, but we will try our best. But this is a nice, steady, 2 watts of keyword round here maybe? I get told off when I do these. Riders all over the place. How do I feel about the anvil? Good question. So first of all, how do I feel about the anvil changes? I mean, it's a safer bet now, isn't it? You basically drop it wherever you want and it's not going to affect you, which it's not as fun. I don't think there's anything better than, I've done it myself, getting to a climb and accidentally dropping an anvil and waving goodbye. I remember racing with Liz Van Helween when she was a teammate of mine on that London course, which I think was, what, 3 seasons ago, and just as we kicked over the top, she accidentally dropped the anvil and she hung on. Cheers, Lee. Well, the thing is, it's an uphill finish, isn't it? You've got that little drop before it kicks up again. At the end of the day, if you've got it, use it, because it's not going to affect you or inhibit you now, because as soon as it kicks in, it's going to make no difference. So yeah, feather's still best for sure. For sure. The thing is with this finish here as well is, if you're still in that front group, cheers Jocelyn, will do. Thank you, appreciate that. I've gone for a chilled vibe with the music tonight. Let's pump the volume up. Hopefully that's okay for everyone. Thanks, Jocelyn. Yeah, feather's still best. But the thing is, if you're still in that front group, by the time you get to that last lap, they are just going to be waiting and waiting and waiting. If that finish line aspect is your goal. I've been there, Zwifty, I've done it myself. What I've got to try and manage now is talking to you guys, focused on the points in the course that are important. And I've got to try and chat on here as well. Oh, nice to see a few BL13 riders in. Shall I change view for you? You don't want to be looking like, if you are watching. Shall we try, let's try that one. I've got a little stream deck here, see, so I can switch scenes relatively easily. You guys may also be able to see the source app in that bottom right hand corner of my screen, which I could make a little bit bigger, but really useful. Yeah, and all your power data that you would normally get anyway, but you're getting a constant average, if you can see it. But the other cool thing is the draft. So anyone who's concerned about the effectiveness of the draft or their efficiency using the draft, go check out this source for Zwift app. There is a little donation required, but yeah, it's quite cool. I've only this is what, second time I've used it, to be honest, right up. But pretty cool. Yeah, good. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. Just a little bit about this start though. I know ZRL, well, all Zwift races historically or traditionally have been very fast starts, but I have seen things settling down a little bit recently. Not quite as mad as they used to be. But again, it's only the first minute or so. If it does kick up, you just got to try and hold on, get through this little roller section, and then you've got a descent before you get to the first climb, which is going to come around about, what, kilometer 3.1. And then that's when all hell is going to break loose, and people are going to try and kick people out the back. But dependent on your category, when you get to this climb, hey Catherine, I will type in a minute, Catherine, promise you. Yeah, exactly. I think this course, repeated attacks. If you don't want to be there for the sprint, you're going to have to attack on these climbs. And you've basically got two climbs, one after the other, kilometer 3.1 and about 3.8 when it kicks in again. That's where you've got to hit them, that's where you've got to push it. And again, what you've got to make sure is when you're all over the top of that and you're heading towards that first sprint, just keep the pressure on. Hey Daz, how we doing? Daz Carter, BL13. Also a regular streamer on Facebook and YouTube, go and check him out. Good to have you in the chat. Are you in the ride though, Daz? That's what I want to know. You're streaming yourself. But yeah, you basically got multiple chances here where you've just got to kick on and push and attack and attack and attack. Break down the legs of those sprinters. But make sure you're communicating with your team as well. That's the other key thing, because it is a team race at the end of the day and you will need all the team's points. There's no point in doing it. Still very loud, is it? I'll get this music right in a minute. Thank you, Michael. I mean, it's a bit loud, but it's chilled, right? Maybe I'll just knock the Zwift ambient noise down as well. But hopefully everyone can hear me okay. Maybe I just need to get closer to the mic. Let's say after this little section, we are going to drop down. If the pace is high, again, dependent on your category and the group's big enough, there is plenty of opportunities to anvil down here. And super tuck or super tuck, whichever you prefer. What I would say though is if you've got an anvil at this point and you're comfortable in the group, just keep hold of it, because you've got that little descent in between the two climbs and then just after. But you've got to be careful just after. Well, I guess you haven't got to be too careful now. Thanks, Michael. Because the anvil's going to be ineffective if you hit a flat road or ascent anyway. So all good, but really appreciate everyone in the chat. Like I say, if you've got any questions, comments, feedback about the course, about the Recons, then don't hesitate, drop a message however way you can. Or maybe you want to discuss some of the new features. Like the new hand cycle, which is awesome, I have to say. About time too. Look at that, stream element spot making the same point at the same time. So this is now where it starts to kick up, but this is fairly gradual, and then when it takes the left here, it's really going to kick up. Even if you aren't trying to brake, when you take this left, push on, just kick on, because it's going to kick up 9-10% and it will stretch out. I thought we were riding at 2 watts a kilo here, I'm at 3.5. So watch this now as we start to head left at kilometre 3.7. You're going to see it pitch up, and basically we're avoiding that glass road, and then it's going to pitch up quite a bit. So the plan today is we're going to get this Recon done. If anyone wants to stay on, I'm going to ride for 2 hours tonight, so I'm going to do this, and then at 7 o'clock I am hopefully going to do the Get Rolling series, because I've not done race 2 yet, or race 3, whatever on, because I was away. So if anyone wants to stay and join me, it's either 7 o'clock or 10 past 7 UK time. That's it, 9-10%. You've got to be pushing on here, whether you want to try and break it down or not, because I guarantee those lighter riders will be. So, someone's just saying in chat, Zwifty Zwifter. Someone in the Recon ride at 8:20 yesterday, was in a handbike, was leading the race for lots of the first 2 laps. They shouldn't be competitive. Well, from what Eric said from Zwift Insider, essentially, if they're behind a regular bike that we're on now, you should only get 50% draft, I think. Or if you're sat behind the hand cycle, I can't remember which way around. But yeah, essentially they're super aero by themselves, but they are heavy in game. So they will struggle, or they should struggle, on those little kickers, but you'll find on the descents they should roll through quite comfortably just because of the weight advantage that they'll have. Honestly, I've not done enough testing of it yet. Oh, you know the answer to that, Nicole. I mean, again, dependent on your category, that first kicker there, you've got what, anywhere between, for that first bit, 25 and 50 seconds, I guess, dependent on your category. Well, there's definitely Daz, going to be a discussion. So if someone's just mentioned about swapping over to that on the descent, there's definitely going to be an opportunity. Maybe, no, not this season. I don't think so this season. But certainly in the next couple of seasons, there's going to be an opportunity that we have another discussion about bike swaps, and the hand cycle is one of the choices for sure. That is definitely going to come up. And it'll be like always, there'll be people say, oh, we shouldn't have bike swaps, it's a game. It's part of it for me. That's why I've got mixed feelings about that anvil as well. Leave it. I had to learn the hard way, as I'm sure many of you Zwifters did at the same time. Yeah, I know, what can I say? Oh, you're telling me, Drumto, that I've got to back off, right? Yeah. So what we've got to sort of think about at this point now is a sprint. So a lot of this is descending until we get to the sprint, and a few little rises, but the most important increase and rise. I'm backing off, Drumto, by the way. I'm backing off a little bit. but I am only in the second grip. But on this sprint, it's really tricky sprint to get right. And it took me, what was it, 4 laps last season, last time we raced this. It took me 2 or 3 laps, or 2 laps, to really nail it. Because you cannot see that start banner. And again, we had an anvil power up then as well. But that anvil power up on this sprint, I think could be really useful. And we will see people utilising it well. Because in fact now, you essentially can drop it just before you peak over the top. Because that sprint's only short, but you've got a little rise up to the start and then drops all of a sudden down to that finish banner. So if someone gets the timing on that perfectly, then you'll be flying. You know what, I really like the draft. That may sound a bit boring, but I think the skilled Zwifters, the ones that really, I know I sound like I'm putting myself into that bracket, but that draft power up is so versatile, and it's 30 seconds. It's just my favourite because again, it doesn't matter whether, I mean, let's face it, unless you're doing a proper climbing course, most courses haven't got massively steep climbs, so it's useful. You know, Titans is pretty useful through those rollers, for example. But it's super useful on the sprints as well, and it's longer. You know, because you get double the time that you would get on an aero or feather or something like that. And if you know how to ride through the pack well, utilising that draft, you could just keep picking up places and time it right, you take the win. So boring, but the draft power up is absolutely my favourite one. What about you guys though? What do you guys prefer? I mean, of course, don't get me wrong, if I'm in Crit City and I'm getting an aero, I am not complaining. That is absolutely what we want. This course, I'd take a feather. I'd take a feather on that finish for sure. Maybe someone will disagree with me on this course. But for me, that is a trick. You know what? Quite a few dirt riders in here as well. Not that I'm biased to any teams, but I do TTT occasionally for the dirt team on a Thursday night. BL13, I'm a little bit biased towards because, well, first of all, I love the way BL13 race. Race Space, thank you very much. I need to get back onto one of your streams as well, Ray, I think. But you're always in chat somewhere, I noticed. But I appreciate the follow. Yeah, BL13, I love the way BL13 race. I guarantee that they're always going to do something or try something at least. But also I'm a little bit biased because they are sponsored by Level Velo. And Level Velo is a new brand for those who don't know who I have started. Sorry for the little plug. Race Space, I've got to spend some time in your chat on Twitch because Twitch is not space, I know well. But I think I need to add some more fun and games into my Twitch streams. So I've got to pick the brains of yourself and Bike Beast as well, I guess. So all good, all good. Okay, so you're saying, yeah, Zwifter is saying draft with a big group, aero with a small. Yeah, fair shout. Alan, the aero power up puts some pressure on you. At least it makes me push a bit more. Yeah, true. Yeah, the other one, that aero, I think from a racer's point of view, and obviously I've raced a lot in real life as well, with that aero you've got to make sure you're still up there. You've still got to make sure in a way that you are in that top 10, 15 riders. The draft, because you're hitting it earlier, you can kind of get away in that final kilometre of being a little bit deeper in the pack. So I don't know if you guys can see this at the minute, but while we're on about draft, but obviously I've got this source app, but you've got the draft in the bottom right corner. It might be a bit small for you, but I've got the source app open on that bottom right corner of the screen. I will make it bigger in a second actually. But basically that's telling me how much of the draft I'm benefiting from right this moment. And you can see as the pack starts to draw out, well, actually it's going up again because I'm tucked in behind these two now, but if I push on a little bit and get out of the draft, for example, see that? And what you should find as I get closer, it goes up, and then it's giving my average draft percentage. So again, there's a score and a target. So again, race on race, session after session, you know, whether you're on a pace partner, quite a cool little feature. And it also tells me how many ride-ons I've got on the other bar, but I've got 16 so far. And your TSS, and then calories and kilojoules. So far TSS on this one 15 so far, energy 241 kilojoules, 28 minutes elapsed time totally. Oh, that's how long I've been running it for. Yeah, I've not had a chance to play around with it, but I saw some of the settings. I've definitely got to spend some time getting to know the different options on this little graph. I'll tell you what, let me just see if we can make it a bit bigger. Just bear with me. Bear with me, good people. Source, that's what we want to change. Shall I make that a bit bigger? There you go. Is that better? There we go. See, I'm doing stuff on the fly now. It's much better than the last time I did one of these RaveCons. Hey, Yokes, how you doing? I've not seen you or heard from you for a few weeks either. All good. Right, so that's the plan, is it, Ray? Imitate Bike Beast. Yeah, it's alright imitating him, but I've got to dig around Google, figure out how to implement some of those things. I've got to get my chatbot sorted out first. Source for Zwift. There's the source for Strava has been around for a while. So basically it's like a plug-in that you can add to Strava to give you a load of additional data. And then Justin, who's the developer, has just done source for Zwift. And I'll tell you what, the guy is really responsive. I had an issue yesterday logging in, communicating last night, bang, done. Fixed it, updated the app, so I think we're going to see some really cool stuff on this. The only thing is you do have to set up like a secondary Zwift account. So I'm using my wife's account currently. Well, I've set her up her account, but I think that's the only way that he can grab data currently. So I guess there's like a dual login at that point. No, I think we're set for the full duration here in terms of the distance. I'll be honest, the ladies at Rave, awesome bunch, awesome team. They sorted this group ride out. But if I look at this distance bar, I would say we're doing the full 28 kilometers, or 27.9 as it is. But this is nice and steady, right? I mean, we're all strung out. Yeah, you find it. I think you do have to do a little bit of support for source through a patron. I think it's Patron. But I think I'm paying like £2 a month to get the access. Cheers, Daz. Cheers for the push. Sorry, crew. Keep asking questions. I am seeing them, promise you. Yeah, you're using it already, right? Right up. I've seen it on quite a few Twitch streams already. And then it was one of the guys actually from Electric Spirit who dropped me a link through on Friday. So thank you, Amy. So hopefully that means you're watching on YouTube currently as well, Amy. All good. I think we've got a few celebrity riders in here tonight. We should have. Or this morning, or this afternoon, wherever you are. Yeah, I actually did have that nearby rider list open. But I've got that much going on these monitors anyway. I had to turn it off. It was kind of distracting me. And I guess for just a steady group ride, I don't need it too much. Yeah, I think what we're seeing on this course, after the sprint, again, I'd be taking my opportunities with a couple of teammates, depending on the size of the group, to roll over the top if we were outnumbered by another team. And again, I think that little kicker up to the finish on the first couple laps, that'd be another place that I'd be trying to kick on and push on, but maybe waiting for sort of lap 2 or 3 there, just to try and break it up as you go out onto that last lap. It depends how fit or unfit the groups are post-summer or post-winter or wherever we are. Well, we're just about to change, aren't we, I guess, coming up to October. But our clocks are going to change the end of October, so yeah, I'll check that out right up. I'd be interested to see what additional data it gives you on top of what we see currently on the Zwifter nearby. But yeah, that is a quick section there, rolling after the finish line and descending. But then again, I'll be taking the recovery, because you know, as you go around this left-hand bend again, coming up to 14 km mark, it's going to kick off. Hey Mitch, how we doing? Yeah, this is the same one you've got, right? I know, I saw your order. You got one of these as well. In fact, yours is the latest version. I've got the early version, which didn't have quite the same. It had a different sleeve on it. This one's a bit tighter. It's not just because of the little guns. Cool. The thing is, the data on the other riders is interesting. But yeah, it'd be really interesting to what you can see. Because again, it's like in real life racing. If someone goes and attacks and you want to be in that move, you can't go watching numbers. You've just got to follow. You just got to do it, right? Hench. Definitely not hench. I don't want to be hench. Although I will say, I have just been supported with WKG Sports. So over this side, behind the camera, you can't see, I've got squat rack, Olympic bar, and plenty of iron to pump and push. So I was in here yesterday doing a squat and leg session, and my daughter was there. I've got a 4-year-old daughter as well. She was in here with me, watching and shouting at me. And when I was doing press up, she was lying on my back because I haven't got a bench press. So yeah, I am trying to add some power, because now I'm riding with the A's, just like you should be, Mitch, as well. I need a little bit more spice in my own sprint, for sure. Okay. I've kind of got used right up now to looking at the rider, because obviously the avatar changes slightly. So actually I raced this course. In fact, I think you watched the stream, didn't you, right up? I raced this course 2 weeks ago. And there was a junior rider in there, like 55 kilograms. And you can just tell from looking at the avatar. I mean, I think I look a bit big on my avatar, but yeah, maybe. I'll tell you what though, it will be useful. If it saves me having, because at the moment, I used to run 3 monitors, but at the moment, well, one of them blew up. You remember, Mitch probably remembers, because I was racing with Mitch. Literally everything went blank. My screen just literally popped and smoked out the top because it was just so moist in here this last winter. I'm down to 2 monitors. So what I'm saying is, if you can get the data that you used to see on Zwift Power on the source overlay, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. Look at that, I'm getting no draft benefit. Where are my drafters? Let's have a look how many riders we've got behind us. The aim is to be mid-pack, right? On a group ride. There's a guy, Zwifty, in our Mayo West B1 2 seasons ago now, when I was B. Chunk, Matt Meanwell. He's another one. He's got like a 17 watts kilo. I'm trying to remember this. I think he's with TBR. I'm sure he was with a big ring. But yeah, if you see him there, then you're going to have to do work to try and drop him. That's what we were trying to do, because we had a sprinter at like 14, 15 watts kilo, Lee Wild. And Liz, we had Liz Van Howen at that time as well. And it was sort of, we were just trying to continually get rid of Chunk. And I noticed actually, Matt Meanwell, he did race IRL close to me recently, and I saw a few pictures. So I'm hoping next season, you and me, Mitch, we can go out and race this guy, IRL. I mean, we've got to do the same thing looking at him, so we've got to try and drop him before the sprint, but there you go. Duds. Who's you ride for? Well, yeah, there's a few out there. There's definitely a few out there. There's another one there, Hamby. I think it's Oliver Hamby, maybe. He's another one who's like between 15, 16 watts kilogram. He is a B, but I noticed he races a lot of A races as well. This is good on him. Oh, looking forward, right? Got you. Mitch, are you riding or just watching? Because if you're riding, I want you to jump on the race with me at 7. Yeah, Hambry, that's it. It's Oliver, right? Oliver Hambry, yeah. So I noticed that he's one of like my, you know, when on Zwift Power you get the Nenemis and so on. I think he's down. Actually, I think we're even at the minute. But he's been doing Wednesday Worlds. If you don't know, those Wednesday Worlds, that's basically, if you want to race the best there is in the world on Zwift, you've got to go and race Wednesday Worlds, which is like 10 past 7 or 10 past 6 UK time on the Get Rolling series. Nathan Gira streams it over on Twitch as well. And Dave obviously commentating, Eric from Zwift Insider commentating. But that's the best of the best. So I've been turning up there, and the Hambry's been turning up, and a few others, sort of top MBs who've got a sprint as well. But it's just been about survival, but also picking up some Zwift Power points. Not that I did last week, but I did the week before. I forget where that was now, but it was on the Watopia course, wasn't it, that finished in the volcano. So that was pretty cool. So if anyone's watching this back who was on the ride but then's like, well, wait, so it's because the YouTube and Twitch guys are distracting me. Which trainer could you possibly be alluding to? Well, I know there's some folks who are using certain power meters as their primary source, for example. I'm not saying everyone who uses a power meter as a primary source is ranking up the watts, but what I'm saying is it is possible, and I'm sure it happens somewhere along the line. But as we're seeing in like the Grand Prix now, and in the series that we run, which is the Underground series, which is for the top 50 teams in Zwift Power, so it's for A and A plus riders, unless a B is up there. Your trainer has to be the primary, but you also have to dual as well, and obviously regular weigh-ins. Oh, so yeah, I missed that one, but what bike would I set up for this course? Because I can't quite see. Let me just see if I can see a bit more of the question. This one, I'd still go for an aero, but maybe I'd go something that's a little bit more all-round as well. So the Tron, I think, is a great bike for this course. But I think, to be honest, you can pick an aero bike. You could go for something like the Specialized Venge, no problem. Mado maybe. But just don't have the disc wheel on. Just go for something a bit more all-round in terms of wheels. Still aero, but reasonably light, like the DT Swiss, like the Zips that you can see with this Greek guy on my left-hand side here with. But I think if you've got the concept bike, then go for that. But frame-wise, I don't think it matters all-round or aero. But just don't put yourself I just wouldn't have a disc on this. That'd be my choice. Hope that answers your questions. Again, anyone else got any varying opinion on that? Be interested to know. Or you could go that way around ZFD and have I mean, that Scott Addict RC, I pushed that a lot, didn't I, for the last 2 seasons, because it is a fantastic all-rounder. Yeah, I can see that working. Again, you've got that mix, haven't you? You've got a lighter weight climbing frame, but with a heavier disc wheel set. So I think that works as well. I absolutely want to make sure, for me, I want to make sure I take points on the sprints. So for me, I'm going for something slightly more aero than that frame, but I'm still giving myself a chance with the wheels, because I believe I can survive the onslaught that's going to come on the climbs on this course, because they're short. I know I can do a minute hard if you take those 2 climbs in back to back. But you know, even if I was on a full aero bike, and I want to make sure I take points on the sprint, so I'd lean. You know what though, I need to check that out, because I need to have a look at what the seconds saving are on having an all-round frame versus an aero frame versus having an all-round wheel or an aero disc, as you're suggesting. So I imagine it's going to be pretty close. But yeah, if you absolutely want to pick up and mop up sprint points along the way, if that's your job, then go for something a bit more aero, and you know, you're gonna have to bury yourself on the climb as well, or dig a little bit deeper, but it's possible, isn't it? Hey, you know, it's a short course, we're almost there. Only 1 kilometre to go. And we're only half an hour in, so what am I going to do for the next hour and a half? Can you get your votes in? What should we be doing now for the next hour and a half? Because I want to get 2 hours riding in today. I've done the kids' tea time. Mrs. B is putting them to bed. I've got 2 hours. I did weights yesterday. I've had all morning off. The only thing I've done is taken the kids to the park run this morning. But I didn't even run. Emma did the running. So what should we be doing? What is going to be on in the next 15 minutes that we can race? And who's joining me? And shall I keep streaming? I think I should. Can someone find me an event, please, for when this is finished? If you don't mind. So here we go. This is that kicker to the finish. With this, right as soon as it picks up, people are going to be going with 300 to go. So I would be sitting as tight as I can here to some, hopefully the group I'm with, and then kick with about 150 to go for a final push. Again, dependent on the power up, not the app, the power up that you've got here. That'd be my plan. you go, Recon done. Thank you for everyone who joined the RaveCon. And I hope you guys will stay on, have a bit of a cool down if that's your plan. Stay on and ride a bit further if that's your plan also. But I hope you have a great race on Tuesday. Hope your team pick up plenty of points. That's a good question, Daz. So what are you, I think what you're asking there, I would imagine as soon as it hits 1%, that's definitely deactivated. I don't know the answer. I would speculate that that would be the case because increased weight while speed is high on a flat road is advantageous. We see that week in, week out on the TT. When you're with bigger riders on a flat course, lighter riders will struggle to hold their wheel once the speed is up. So I'm going to say as soon as it gets to 1%, it's deactivated. However, let's check with Eric, shall we? Let's check with Eric to see if that's the case. Zwifty, thank you very much. Appreciate the chat, appreciate the questions. All good in the hood. Hey, thank you for the follow as well, Roadkill Zwift. Appreciate that as well. Just seen that, thank you. I think I answered the bike setup. Okay, is that, Daz, is that what you know? Or is that what you've, okay, we're gonna have to find it, right? Let's find it. I'm gonna share it on screen now. Give me a second. Bear with me, I'm going to share my screen in a second. If anyone is going to have that answered us, right, let's have a look there. Bear with me, crew. Bear with me. No, we don't want that. We don't want that. Forget that. Forget that. Bear with me. See what I mean, Ray? Just no clue. Yes, I want to remove that. Yeah, no, bear with me. Bear with me. We don't want it that big though, right? So let's have a scroll down here. Smart anvils. The anvil power up adds 50 kilograms. Yeah, we know that. Yeah, today's release updates the anvil, so it only adds 50 kilograms while the gradient is minus 1.5 or greater. So there you go. So it's not going to work on the flat. That's pretty cool, right? They've made it too easy. That's my opinion. They've made it too easy on that anvil. Just put it at 0. And then it's the rider's choice if they want to take that risk. What do you guys think? Has that been made too easy? I think so. What do you guys think? And has anyone found me an event? You don't need to see the screen now, do you? I mean, I don't suppose you want to look at me all day, but... Right, we need to find an event, don't we? Let's have a look. So what I may do here is I'll probably at some point in the next 10 minutes kill the YouTube live stream, but I'll keep the Twitch running. Or even if it doesn't stay running, I will definitely head back to Twitch. But let's have a look at events. See what we can find. I'm not going to find anything, am I, before this Get Rolling. Oh, could I Get Rolling Stage 2. 101 riders. Yeah, maybe I don't want to do the dinosaur one though. There you go. So if anyone wants to jump in, I'm going to do Stage 2 Get Rolling. The 7:10 UK time, so that's in 30 minutes. Sandon Siquaz. A category. So if anyone wants to jump in, there's only 9 of us currently. Get on it. Oh, there you go, it's come up. It's 30 minutes time. I mean, my legs are in bits after that weight session, but still, if I'm going to get that Get Rolling badge, I think today's the last day that I can race this race, so I'm going to have to do it. Thankfully, I've got the new Source app to tell me how well I'm going to be drafting and whether I can survive it up Titans. Sorry if I've got like white in my hair, but I've been painting today. Decorating my little boy's room because it's been plastered for about 2 months. But yeah, I really appreciate the follows. Finally, guys, the good news is I've made it over 50 Twitch followers. 50 Twitch followers. I'm well chuffed. So I appreciate that. And what are we on? YouTube 3,440. So Peter Cowley was the last subscriber over there. So if you're not subscribed already on YouTube, give it a like, give it a subscribe, or even if you're riding now and watching now, just go down, give it a thumbs up. Honestly, you'd be amazed how much that really helps the channel and the video. So it's deeply appreciated. Same for Twitch as well. So I think that finally gets me at least another step closer to an affiliate on Twitch. Step by step. Mountain King, look at how it works. Thank you very much for the follow on Twitch, Mountain King UK. Top man, you're a legend. Or top lady, whichever it may be. Just an expression. And then I promise I'm going to keep working on these screens and the panels and the Twitch show and YouTube show, so they're more entertaining than just me and the bike. Maybe I should start Twitch streaming the gym sessions as well, so you can see when I've got like wobbly knees and a big vein in my neck because I clearly over pushing myself on the squats or the lunges, whatever it might be. But yeah, also, just so I do a little plug there, guys, don't forget we have started this new clothing brand. Is the camera jumping around a bit? We have started this new clothing brand, which is Level Velo. There's a few jerseys behind me here, and a few extra we've got there as well. So, and then we've got this indoor short. This is a pre-production one. The actual current one, the new one now, has got like a power band here. So it just keeps the short a little bit lower. This was one of the early samples that I had. But this material is like super breathable, really light. The BL13 guys using it. But we can also do team kits. So if you are in a Zwift team, club, or in fact a real life club or team, we can make your kit. But indoor is the thing, really. And there's a number of different jerseys. You've got a sleeved version, a sleeveless version, zip, no zip. Hey Carl, thanks very much. Yeah, I saw Cal Dirt, I saw you and another dirt rider around me. Was it Daz Dirt, alright? You and Daz Dirt were around me if I remember rightly. In fact, you're with me now. So I appreciate you riding and listening at the same time, guys. Awesome stuff. And can I keep sharing those YouTube videos as well. So yeah, as I said, if you've got a team and you want some kit, drop us a line, drop me an email. Come talk to me and see what we can do. Hey, I did the same. Let's call it drafting. Let's call it tactical drafting, not wheel sucking. We're just coming to the end of our midweek chain gang nights, the in real life ones. And I've just been away for 4 or 5 days on a stag do, so I'm not going to say any more about that, but it was pretty rough. And then I have to say, there was a fair bit of wheel sucking going on that chain gang after about 25 mile. So there are times that you've just got to do it effectively for a tactical, and then there's just for survival, isn't it? Well, I'll tell you what, Carl, come and join me on this get rolling stage. I noticed no more riders have joined yet, so it looks like it's going to be me and 9 others. Daz Carter, I think you should get on it. Rest assured, we're not going to beat Wednesday Worlds time. I'm gonna up the music. I'm gonna up the tempo of the music as well before we get onto that race. This is a little bit too chilled, even when I'm racing. This camera is definitely skipping, isn't it? You got loads of recovery, Carl. Loads of recovery. You got all Monday. Get off the bike, drink some protein, go bed. Depending where you're based, of course. Let's assume you're Northern Hemisphere, Europe somewhere. And you got all Monday. Put your feet up. Sit at the desk. Oh yeah, apparently I'm also on TikTok, by the way. I mean, I haven't posted in about 3 months because I don't know whether you've got to be amusing or something on TikTok, and if there's one thing I'm not, it's very amusing. Not like a comedic way anyway, not a purposeful comedic way. Finally though, thanks to the team at Rave for organising these. You know what, Cal, yeah, thank you for the team Rave for organising this. And the Recons every week and getting the riders involved that they get involved. But Cal, I did those 2 weeks ago before the stag do. Yeah, but they're awesome, aren't they? They are awesome. But yeah, by race 4, my quads have never felt so tight and pumped from just sprint, you know, full gas sprint after full gas sprint after full gas sprint after full gas sprint. I mean, I think the week before I watched some of the bees racing. I watched Adam over at Zwiftaholics, and it just looked painful. Even bees, it was just full on. But thankfully I picked a time that still had some hitters in it, but I think they'd done like, the guys and girls I was racing with had done the tiny races in the morning and then come back in the afternoon. Well, in fact it was evening. For me it was like 11 AM. So there were still some good names there that I could pick up ranking points, but hopefully, you know, at the same time they were a bit spent. Yeah, so that's what I avoided, because everyone was just waiting and waiting, because everyone was knackered, tired. I do agree, yeah, tiny races, super cool bunch of races to be in. Right, so those over on YouTube, I am very shortly going to knock off the YouTube stream. If it's not already gone off, to be honest. Yeah, it may be that we actually, are we? Let's take a look. Don't want to be doing that, do we? Let's mute that. Play that. Am I still live? Yeah, we're still live. But yeah, YouTubers, we're going to kill this soon and we're going to jump over to Twitch only. Figure out how to kill a cinnamon. Right, we're ending the YouTube stream. We are heading over to Twitch. Be great to see you over there. Just search for Cybraidley or Current Zwifters on Twitch and you'll find us. Thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on Twitch shortly.